Three-time Super Bowl champ Matt Chatham joining us now in the NESN.com studio. Sammy P is here. It's Thanksgiving, Matt, and we'll talk plenty of football, but there's a lot of power ratings talk going around. Who's the best team in college football? How much would Georgia be favored against Alabama? I want you to power rate the Thanksgiving table at the Chatham House. What's at the top and what's at the bottom?
All right, Sammy. So I go an unusual way here a little bit. So it's tough to sort of go, apples to apples here with other people's table because I go Cajun. We go Southern variety each and every time. So I'm going to do a Cajun version of a turkey. I'm going to do a Cajun version of sort of a cornbread stuffing. That's not going to square well with your, traditional New England mashed potatoes, turkey, that kind of thing. So I think that variety makes it hard to go straight up. But in my world, where I'm emphasizing spice on Turkey Day at the top because I'm, the guy that loves to smoke meat. I got to put my turkey at the top of the power rankings. But right behind him, nipping at his heels, is my cornbread stuffing filled with chorizo and jalapenos and caramelized onions, and then the cornbread itself soaked in whole cream. It's absolutely indulgent. It would be on the other side of the turkey if I were not so committed to how I smoke my meat. So other than that, we get down out of the realm that I care about. We get to my kids, and they absolutely adore one of those crazy Jello mold things with the cinnamon hot candy, which it's not my world, but they go there, and it's incredibly popular with them. So it doesn't float my boat, but it certainly does theirs. As sort of a parallel to that, I love my cranberries. So, my cranberries, I do a drunken version, obviously, in the smoker with orange zest and all sorts of other crazy stuff in there, and just giant bags of whole cranberries that sit in a big wok on the smoker all day. But by the time you get done with that at the end of the evening, that's something you can put on bagels the next morning. It's something you can basically, bong if you wanted to. It's really good stuff. So I don't know if that's really a power ranking. That's just more of sort of a smorgasbord of it all.
Can you see how excited my man is? All right, Chef Chatham. Usually you pick the points, or the totals rather, but you're going with a point spread this week. The Pats laying 6.5 to the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, Sammy, I talked myself out of it the last several weeks. And we're just at a point now where on a normal week against a good team, 6.5 just seems way too aggressive. I try to put my attention elsewhere, but this is three decisions in a row where it just hasn't been close to the Pats. There's too many things going on with Tennessee that they've got to deal with, that they've got to resolve coming into this game against a hot defense and a hot offense, frankly, with the Patriots, that I just can't talk myself out of a single score. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that 6.5 Pats. The one thing to keep an eye on here is game style. Vrabel did a really good job when he caught the Pats in the playoffs a couple of years ago about dragging it down to the mud. But I've got to keep reminding myself who he had to help him do that. That was Derrick Henry. They don't have that running game now. That 6.5 looks fat, but I'm going to eat it.
Coach of the Year market. I've got this pulled up right now at DraftKings. Cliff Kingsbury, the favorite, 4-1. Bill Belichick, 5-1. Your former teammate, Mike Vrabel, 6-1. Who would you bet right now?
This will sound like Homerism, I guess, but it's money, so it really isn't. I would go with Belichick for this reason. Those two other tentacles have some uncertainty that they're not sure of. Internally, they're not. We're not. As a greater NFL public, we're not. What's going to go on with that Tennessee offense to keep those guys up high? Will Julio Jones come back as a contributor? Can A.J. Brown keep himself healthy? Does Derrick, sort of catch on at the end of the season? Do they get those guys back, and does that help Mike take it across the line? With Kyler Murray week after week here being sort of a game day decision for Cliffy, again, I just don't like to put money towards that uncertainty. The Patriots have a relatively healthy roster. They're hot, so at least as things stand today, Bill's where I'd throw my money.
He's Matt Chatham, a man who's going to definitely enjoy Thanksgiving. See you next week.